Most amazing artists, today we're finishing our op art spheres, which you made by tracing a circle shape and then making horizontal and vertical lines that intersected, but you abstracted or curved the middle ones in the sphere to distort them. Then you're following an A-B pattern to make a checkerboard, so every other one you color. Make sure that when you get to a new line, your pattern continues. So if the one on the previous line was not colored or was white, the next one would be colored. Your pattern even continues on top of your sphere. This is like having a checkerboard tablecloth and putting something underneath. It does not change the pattern, it just distorts the checkerboard pattern. So it's still following that checkerboard through the sphere, but it's just going to change shape a little bit. I'm coloring, I'm using the side of the marker to outline the square and then color it in with one direction. So by making these outlines and holding the marker on its side, it lets me color in the square a lot faster and also a lot more accurately or neatly. So it's going to be a really fast way by using the side of the marker. Now I know it feels funny to use the side of the marker, but once you're used to it, it really helps you make straight, clean, and bigger lines than you would with just the tip of the marker. So I'm going to go through my entire checkerboard. I know your hand might get a little bit tired, give it a hand stretch, but it's going to be worth it when you're all done. Make sure you take your time and do your best job, not working sloppy, working very neatly. Give yourself a break every once in a while if you need it. When you're all done coloring in your checkerboard pattern, that's when we're going to talk about shadows. You're going to have black and gray charcoal to make a shadow around your sphere. Do not start the charcoal part until you're done with the marker because they're not going to mix well together. So if you wanted to use a different color on the white squares, make sure you do that first. Then we can go back and add the charcoal last. So charcoal is like coal. It comes from the embers of a fire. So it's a certain type of wood that gets burnt and then compressed into a charcoal stick. It's very messy, just like it would be if you made a fire, there'd be lots of coals left over. Well, this is obviously an art supply. It didn't come straight from the fire, but it is just as messy as touching that leftover coal from a fire. It gets all over your hands and leaves black everywhere. Starting out with gray, outlining my sphere very carefully and then pulling in towards the middle to smear it. I'm pulling in, not pushing out towards the outside. That shadow would be on the rim or the outer edge of the sphere, showing that it's 3D and curved. The highlight would be right in the center there, so that's where I'm not going to get any charcoal. I'm not going to put any shadows in the middle, just leaning towards the middle or starting to get towards the middle. Charcoal is messy, so be careful where you're putting your hand. You don't want to smear it across your paper. Then I'm going to add a little bit of black in there to show where the darkest parts of the sphere are, probably on the bottom or on one side, depending on where your light direction is coming from. So I'm going to smear only towards the middle of the paper, smearing towards that center of the sphere, or going back and forth with my finger. I'm only using one finger to smear or shade the charcoal with. That way I don't make a huge mess on my entire hand. So again, you just trace the sphere and then you can go with either black or gray or both and then go ahead and blend it, making sure I'm only blending in the circle, not on the outside, because that tablecloth wouldn't have a shadow on it. All right, my awesome artists, when you're all done, make sure to clean your hands up with an art wipe and then sign your work with a Sharpie. Have fun. I can't wait to see your awesome op art spheres.